Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Henrik Overby, and I'm here in Denmark having a webinar with my upline from the States, Keith Schreider. And are you there, Keith?
I'm here.
Okay. And tonight we have to talk about self-development, and would you like to start, Keith? Did you have your notes ready now?
Yes, I am here. Thank you for that introduction, and of course, thank you for speaking English, because I would have no idea. And I'm working on it. I'm working on my Danish, but you're more than welcome to, if you have to explain something, that's fine. But I just want to kind of open up the call and kind of share a little bit about personal development. It kind of occurred to me. It was about 2 weeks ago. We were staying in a hotel, and the hotel was one of those new fancy hotels. So, like in my house, if I wanted to change the temperature, wanted to turn on the air conditioning because it's getting hot. A couple weeks ago, I used the heater. But this hotel was brand new, and they had these specific thermostats, and all you had to do was tell it the temperature. So you didn't have to tell it to turn on the heater. You didn't have to tell it to turn on the air conditioning. It just says, what temperature do you want? Very similar to some of the cars nowadays. And you would just set it and forget about it. So for me, in Fahrenheit, I like 70 degrees when I'm in a hotel. So I just set it to 70. I didn't know if it was higher or lower. It just took care of it. It was kind of automatic. So as the night went on, and it started getting colder and colder, the thermostat automatically said, whoa, let's turn on the heater to get it up to temperature, to get it up to the 70 degrees. Of course, if it got too hot in the room, let's say the sun was coming in during the day, it would say, whoa, hold on, let's turn on the air conditioner and bring it down to 70 degrees. And really what that does is it's automatic. It does it whether we think about it. We don't have to tell it to do anything. It's automatic. So where this brings into personal development, more importantly, in our It Works business, is that so much time we have what we call a success thermostat. So we can kind of see ourselves making a certain amount of money, or we can see ourselves at a certain pin level, or we can see ourselves doing this amount of work, or we can see ourselves with this amount of success. But normally it's a monetary thing. A pin level leads to money. Whatever your habits are leads to money. And we have this we call like a success thermostat. So we can kind of see ourselves, every single person listening in can say, oh, okay, I believe I'm this level or this amount of money. So let's say you say, okay, I'm a diamond, and then your brain automatically says, oh, well, this is what diamonds do. So they talk to this amount of people, they follow up with this amount of people, they do this amount of work. And if you said, okay, I'm a double diamond, then your mind goes, whoa, what do double diamonds do? Well, they follow up with more people, they do this, they blitz more, they do the activities, and it's just kind of automatic. But at the same time, you could be at a level and you're thinking lower, and so you won't do as amount of work. So whatever you think you want to be is what happens. Your mind automatically says, this is what you need to do to achieve it. And it's just completely automatic, and we don't really have to think about it. So if we say, oh, it's coming to the end of the month, I want to make Ruby, your mind automatically says, whoa, okay, let's look at the charts. Let's see what we need to do. Let's see who we need to follow up with, or let's see who we need to duplicate. And it's done automatically. So the big question is, how do we raise that thermometer? How do we raise that success thermometer? We're thinking of thermometers as far as temperature, but how do we raise our level of success in our mind? How do we believe that we're a diamond? How do we believe we're a double diamond? How do we believe we're a triple diamond? How do we set that thermostat to triple diamond? How do we set that thermostat to double diamond? How do we set that thermostat to ruby? Whatever it is, how do we set that thermostat? The big thing is the voices, who we're listening to, who we're hanging out with. The best way to set your thermostat at diamond is to hang out with other diamonds. Of course, we have lives. We have things we need to do during the day. You just can't hang around with diamonds all day. And the knowledge will rub off. So when you're listening to the webinar, you say, okay, terrific. This is what's going to help me, think like a diamond, double, triple, whatever it is. It's going to raise our success thermostat. Attending events, the things that we're listening to, the things that we're watching, just the people that we hang out with. And that's why I really love events, is because we hang out with positive people. We hang out with people that are wanting to move forward in their lives, especially if there's special guests coming, because there's like, whoa, okay, they have newfound knowledge. I know you have an event coming up where some home office staff is coming up and say, wow, I'd love to hang out with them to see where this company's going. Where are we going? How do I maximize this exposure to the event? Of course, the big thing is to go to the event. That's easy, but what we try to do is we try to bring guests, try to bring new people to the event. So it's not just me that's excited, or me that has this newfound knowledge. It's people I bring with. It's people that they bring with. So the events are great, attend them, but it's really all about that new person, all about the person that says, wow, I didn't know that these products are incredible. I didn't really know that the everyday person can make a difference. And that's where the excitement starts, is when you bring people to events, because if you set your success thermostat up there, it says, wow, I need to duplicate. I need to do something more. How do I do it? I duplicate. I bring people to the events. I bring people to the webinars. I bring people to the home office webinars. And it's all about duplication. So obviously go to the event, but bring somebody new. Bring current distributors, but try to bring new distributors or new prospects to the event. And that's where the magic happens. And that's what happens when you set your success thermostat up to diamond. You say, okay, if I want to be diamond, let me do what diamonds do. And then it's completely automatic. So hopefully that kind of brings a good start. And Henrik, what you could do is redo it in Danish next time. So Henrik, I'll send it over to you.
Thank you, Keith. Actually, this it's a good start, because I was thinking about when we actually is diamond. So how can we go to the next level? So we don't have a double diamond around the corner. So actually, I started on something else. I was starting on reading a book by Stephen Covey called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I was in the start of the book. It's telling about you're reading differently when you're just reading a book for fun. And this book is not for fun, so you have to read it like you are educating somebody else. And then I had the idea, maybe I should talk about the things, the chapters in the book after one after the other. There is 7 habits. So tonight I'll start about talking about the first one. Of course, I cannot go through all the details in the book. If you want to have it yourself, you can buy the book. I don't know if it's reverses. Okay, but I could put up the name of the book afterward. It's Stephen Covey, and in Danish it's 7 gode vaner. Personlig lederskab og livskraft. And the first chapter is talking about how to be a person who is triumphing over yourself, to be what we are calling be proactive. And we are all everybody is born proactive, but in our society, in our part of the world, you're depending on somebody else when you're born. So the children is depending on the mom and the dad, and they are being told everything, not to do that and not to do this. And the same is when you're going to school. So after a while, when we are young, many people are being taught that they are not independent. So everybody is blaming things that are happening in their life on somebody else. And in Stephen Covey, he's talking about this paradigm. When you're young, you can have something we call determination. That you can have something that he is calling the genetic determination, where you are blaming things that in your life on your parents. If your parents have red hair and light skin, you're blaming that you cannot go into the sun, and maybe you're been mobbed in the school because of your appearance. Maybe you're thinking you're ugly, and so you're blaming everybody on your parents and what they have given you by the genetic, and somebody else is blaming it on how they what they have been taught. So that's a psychic determination, where you can blame it, still blame it on your parents, maybe because the parents are violent. Maybe you're getting beating at home, and that's why you're saying that's why I'm a violent person, and everybody is blaming on something. So maybe somebody else has done something to you. So that's the reason why I'm in this way. You can say. And then is the third determination, that is the outside world determination. And I'm thinking a lot of my colleagues at work is doing that, because then they're blaming on the weather, they're blaming on the government, they're blaming on everything else. And if something bad is happening to them, they're blaming on that. That's the reason why I'm ending up here, and so on. And actually, that's something he's calling the reactive model, because you are reacting to everything that is happening to you. So you're not determining what to react, how to react differently. And he is using a very good history. There was a man called Viktor Frankl. He was a Jew, and he was living in Germany under the Second World War, and of course he ended up in a concentration camp. And he saw a lot of people around him that was reacting, and there was a reactive model. Actually, a lot of his friends ended up dying because all the negative things that was happening to them, they just gave up and died in front of him. And at one time he was laying naked on the floor in a cell, and he was thinking, maybe there's another way to react. Maybe I'm a human being. I can choose how to react on things. And that's something very different from us to animals, that we can choose. We have self-awareness. We can imagine everything. So he was imagining that he was in a place where he could teach everybody else. And then he started to react differently. He had a determination to survive, and to be a teacher again. Actually, he was a professor, and after the war he actually ended up being a professor again. And because of his reaction, because he started to react in a different way, he ended up being very respected by the other in the concentration camp. And actually, some of the guards actually asked him for advice. So it was a very positive history, and he used it positively after the World War. So that I'm trying to explain is you have to react and choose how to react on things. So if you're meeting somebody who is negative and saying, "Oh, I don't want to do this," maybe it's not you that is the problem. Maybe it's just because they are not in that place in their life, so they can start on something new, and maybe it's not because you are telling in the wrong way. So you have to choose how to react, and that's a very important lesson. So choose how to react and be proactive. And the end of the chapter, he's talking about doing a 30 days commitment to be proactive. So every time you meet a challenge, try to react and react immediately. So you are doing something right now. And that's, I think, is the most people are thinking that's the proactive model. But it's also choose how to react. So,
in your
what are you thinking about that, Keith?
Oh yeah, I'll say in your opinion, as you're reading the book, it's so much easier to take the easy way. It seems like so many people, and we've all been guilty of it as once, is that oh, it's just easier to blame my laziness or the reason I'm this way. But you have to kind of put yourself in. You're kind of putting yourself in how you would like to be. It kind of seems that way. We're talking about not only did he see himself being a professor again, but the guards saw him being a professor to an extent. So the guards went from being really very not nice to let me pick your brain type of activity, which is incredible. How do you visualize that? How do you put yourself in the success of of a pin level, or success of somebody that's, so many people tell me, oh, I'm shy, I don't like to talk to people, I don't like this, I don't like that. And really, if they just change their words, if as a personality, normally I would be put in the shy category. So I could determine that and say, oh, I'm a shy person, I'm a green personality, I'm not a people person. But at the same time, when I'm out there, I can make a difference. So I had to change my word and say, okay, I'm a green personality, but I'm not shy. Am I shy? Deep down? Probably, maybe, I don't know. I don't care. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm not shy. I love to talk to people. Is that how I grew up? Maybe, maybe not. But it doesn't matter, because I'm thinking to myself how I'd like to be, or how I see myself. Have you seen that with yourself, where you kind of have to believe in yourself before your body believes in you?
Yeah. I'm actually, I was thinking about everybody who is have a difficult things going on. Many people are starting with the answer, I'll try to do that, and actually they are already framing that they are not going to get the gold, because I'll just try to do it.
Oh, yes.
To start to make the words in your head, I'm going to do it, and imagine you're doing it, not trying to do it, because then you're already is starting to do a failure in your head.
Yeah, we do that all the time in America. someone invites us to something that we may not want to go to, we say, I'll try to be there.
Yeah.
Which means I'm going to try to think of an excuse because I don't want to be there. But we all know it. It's nicer than saying I don't really want to go to your whatever it is that you're inviting me to. Oh, I'll try to make it. Let me see. Let me talk to the wife. But that's just how we're growing up. We're grown ups. We don't want to be negative to people. We don't want to let people down. Or at least that's how I grew up. So yeah, sometimes we don't want to let our success down. Like, oh, I'll try to become Ruby. I'll try the business, and it's a big mind shift. So really, the choice words, and you can say it in Danish, is I am a Ruby or I am a diamond. Yeah, how do you say that in Danish, or what's a good way to culturally say it in your mind so people can believe it?
Yeah, you have to. The most important is you have to believe it yourself. But because you can say something and not believing that, and you have to believe it yourself. See yourself there. So it's very important. And you can determine how to do it. And we were not last year, for close to a year ago, I think we had a call with Liz that was telling us if you want to do this, you have to have a goal there. You have to be diamond. And in the start, I was not thinking maybe that's too high a goal. But Annie, she could see that immediately. I'll be diamond. I'm sure I'll be diamond. And after a while, I believed her. And sure, now we are diamond. And now she's talking about double, triple diamond. And I was thinking, oh, what are our lives? In the start, it's difficult to imagine, but it will come to you if you're trying.
Mm-hmm. I like to say, and there's so many different ways to put it in English, but I can only see so far out the window. I can see basically up until the house at the end of the block, and then I can't see that much farther. But if I actually walk and get out of my house and walk, then I'll see farther away. One way to cheat is to go to a higher building, and you can see a lot farther from a higher building. So, go as far as you can see. If it's executive, go to executive, and you're like, you know what? I can duplicate. I can become a Ruby, and then sometimes it's step by step.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it was like that with me because I was shy and young at the time. Or just cheat and go to a higher building. And how do you go to a higher building? You just listen to more information, attend more events. There's so many stuff that's recorded, even on our website, but as well as on the It Works website. So just go to a higher building, just get more of that information, and it kind of builds you up, and you can see farther. But whatever it is, as long as they have something tangible that they believe, it just becomes, as I said before, automatic, and it's amazing.
A thing you could do to see yourself in a higher place is also coming to the event with Sven Sinski. So I'll be sure, because he have built a network with 30,000 people in his downline. So he have a higher perspective. So he can see further. So if he can see further, maybe you can see yourself a little bit further. So I think we have to end the call now because it's close to half an hour. So do you have some end remarks, Keith?
No, I think you covered it. Of course, if you can make the event and you're within 3 hours driving distance, I'd highly recommend it. As you say, he can make you see see farther and build yourself up. But it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good to be surrounded by other people. Yes, I can watch a webinar and it's exciting, but when you're around other people, you get that feeling, and it's a good feeling to have. And we look forward to the next event where we'll be coming down as well. So hopefully we'll see you soon. I'd love to see the pictures. Make sure to post up those pictures up on the on Facebook as well. Thank you so much.
Sure. We'll do that. Thank you, Keith, and I think we'll end the call here. Good night, and thank you for being on here.
Good night.
Bye.